So the next step now is I'm going to shift gears a little bit. Now that we've dealt with the particular unique situation of the Earth Megaminx, and we're able to put these center stars, or the inner edges, in place, now we're going to revert back to the same old strategy. We just have to be cognizant of what we're doing, and it's really very similar. So I invite you to use the techniques that you learned from the Venus Megaminx and apply it here. So how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to do the same strategy by putting these outer edges in. Here's one that's easily put in right here. I want to move this to over here. So if I just want to rotate these around, all I have to do is do the same algorithm. To make up for how difficult it was to put these in, the next step is actually fairly easy. So if I do the rotational algorithm, it'll rotate this into here. 1, 2, 3, bang, there it is, no problem. How about this guy? Well, to roll this in, I'm going to be using Venus strategy. And as long as I'm far away from this guy, there'll be absolutely no problems with that. So I'm going to move this into here so that this will come over here. And Venus strategy, RI, F, R, F, RI, 1, 2, 3, F, R. And there it is over here. So we can move that, move these guys back in place, find another white. Here's a white and blue. I kind of want to knock this off. So what I'm going to do is just move this down and do a quick edge swap between these two. And move this in. So here it is over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, well, actually that wasn't the original one that I knocked off, but who cares? Anyway, I'm going to now move this over here with an edge swap, as you recall. So Venus algorithm, because I have a fixed one on top, blue, so I'm going to move this around until I get the blue center here. Venus strategy. If anyone has any questions on what I'm doing, it's kind of a rehash of the previous tutorial, so I invite you to look at that. If not, I'd be more than happy to post things. So this is in, this is in, this is in. Now I got to put these guys in. I saw a whole nest of whites right over here. So I'm going to flip this down to here. Bingo! So see how much faster this step is going. Venus strategy to bring this up here. Only in this case it starts off on the left side. So L, F, I, L, I, F, I, L, 1, 2, 3, L, I. So that puts that in here. Move that back. We got one more to put in, which is the red, which is right over here. Swap here. There that is. The fun thing about the Earth cube, I'm not a speed cuber, but I'm wondering if you can actually time yourself and work on speed cubing with this one. But anyway, this will come up to here. 1, 2, 3, bang. So we very quickly made short work of our bottom star. Now, as you recall, the next step is putting these edges in. So that's what I'm going to do. So why don't we start off with red and blue, and it's really not too much different in terms of the techniques from the last one. So here's the red and blue. So what I'm going to do to get this in is, first off, we have to transport it down over here. And the basic thing I'm going to try to do is maybe get the red to match the red and then roll it in appropriately. Being aware that this is a fixed side, which makes it a little more difficult to deal with, but I'm going to roll it here, and then from here we're going to roll this down here. Well, actually, no, I have to roll this here first, move this back, and move this back here, just to get the centers in. I'm going to put it here and then roll this down here, and then move it back. Now that I have this in place, I'm now going to roll this over here during the middle rotational algorithm. If I hold it here, this is going to be fixed in place. So the first thing I'm going to do is bounce it out of here. 2, 3. Okay. Now that I have that, I'm going to move it over here. It'll still fix that in place, but I'm going to keep doing that until these two meet each other. 2, 3. And lo and behold, there they are. Nope, sorry, there it is. Not quite yet. 2, 3. Now that they are, move it down. Alright, so this is in place. Now we'll do the red and green. Red and green. Red and green. Going through this again just in case this didn't quite gel the first time around. Anyway, instead of doing red and green, I see that the purple and green is already here. So I can just rotate that in to this place over here. So I can already just move this like so and rotate it until this comes up to here. 1, 2, 3, bang. Do it again. And there it is, so I can rotate that down. So I already put that in. Alright, how about red and dark green? Yep, here it is. So red and dark green over here. So first thing to do, make the journey down here somehow. I can turn it here. Bearing in mind, remember this is going to drag the center with it, so we got to be careful. But I'm going to move 1, 2. Then I can comfortably move it down to here. And then be very careful to move these guys back, lest I ruin more than I wanted to. Anyway, so it's over here, and I put it in here for a purpose so that I can just roll this by doing a outside middle rotational algorithm down to here. Now let's see, how can I do this? Well, these two are fixed in place, so I can do it that way. Or I can probably just roll it in like this. Just go down, boom, boom. Uh-oh, boom. So didn't have to get too fancy about that. So this is in place, this is in place, this is in place. Now purple and yellow. Ah, purple and yellow. Okay, so this has to make the journey down over here. It's kind of far away. So I'm going to just come across here. 1, 2. Bring this back here. Now I got to remember to roll this back, but before I do that, why don't I just roll this down here? And now roll this back. So I didn't mess any of that up. And I put this over here. So it's going to be easy enough for me to get this down here. We can just roll it in like this. Because I have less non-fixed centers here, that's why I'm able to move so fast through this. I don't have to worry about positioning. Yellow and blue here. Here it is. Yellow and dark blue. So I got to move that over to here. So why don't I go 1, 2. Move it down. 1, 2. Move it back. Sometimes I like to just take it in sections. Now I got to be careful because again this one isn't bandaged, so I have to conduct myself a little differently. Okay, 1, 2, down, 1, 2, up. Okay, so I kind of put it within the proximity of where I need it. So how am I going to get it in here? Well, could I just roll it in here? Nope, because it'll take the center with it. So I may want to try something like a Venus algorithm, because if I turn it here, this is a non-fixed side and it's on the top. So why don't I move it like this, turn this yellow one here, it's not needed for anything else, turn this here so I can roll this to here, so at least I'll get it facing the right way. So the Venus algorithm will be used, down, cross, up, cross, down, 1, 2, 3, up. So there it is here, move it down. And when we did it by a couple of different strategies, we've got now this layer in. I'm going to follow suit exactly the same way now and put in the edges here, doing layer by layer method. Now as you recall, to put this in, I wanted to be as far away from one of these guys as possible. And I've got a variety of places that I can use to roll my white ones in. So here's a white one. I'm just going to move it here, and I can very safely move the white, yellow, and purple in. So I'm going to just roll it in here. Now understand I'm going to be messing this up, but I've shown you before how easy that is to put in. So that'll be sacrificial lamb for the moment. Alright, so that's in. This got bumped out, but we're not going to worry about that. Where's another white? Any other white that's close by? No. So there's a white here. Can I comfortably move that in? Let's move this back here so I don't get too confused. 1, 2. Turn here. 1, 2. No, we were going to destroy that. We don't want to do that. Why don't we move this here so that we can move this down? This one went down, so turn, 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 turn. So now line it with the purple and dark green and just keep rolling it until we get it right. Okay, so that's in place. Move this back here. Any other white ones that I can conveniently use? There's one over here. And there's one over here. So why don't I just, because this is a safe area here, in the meantime, we'll put this back into place. And as you recall, this is going to be in the right plane here, the red and green, which is here. And what I'm going to do is just do the Rubik's Cube algorithm to get that back in. It was positioned here on purpose so that this wasn't going to be a problem. Move this back in here. So let's get a lay of the land here. This is in a safe place. So we can move this here and safely roll this white one in. This is blue and red. Here's my blue and red, and we just start rolling. Oh look, I got another one to use. Everything's coming up roses here. Okay, so this is in. Now we do the dark green and red, the very next one. Roll that back. Okay, so this is in here too. So let's see what we got. Now we just have one more white one, and it's right over here. We got to blast it out of this side here, and I think we can probably do that if I go turn, turn, turn. Okay, so it's out, it's there. I can just move it here and finish it up here. Okay, this is in. We just have to put this back. Rubik's Cube algorithm. All right, we're getting good. So we've got the first layer in, edges and corners all put in, including over here. So the first part of our first layer. Second part, now we're just going to put these guys in. These guys are going to go in here. So let's find the one that we want to start with. Why don't we start off with purple? We can find that pretty well. Purple and blue, purple and orange. Let's see. All right, here's a purple and blue. So how are we going to wind this in? What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do the Venus. I can turn this over here and wind it in this way. The only thing I'm worried about is ruining all of this stuff. I don't want to do it from this perspective. I'm going to ruin that. I want to do it from this perspective, but it's the wrong side. So to turn this upside down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this away from here, move this to here, so I can continue. I can go from here to here, here to here, and that'll turn it upside down. Do it again. There we go. And then move it back. So now that I've done that, I can fulfill my plan. This is now purple over here, and I go 1, 2, and now I can do Venus strategy safely. 1, 2, 3 here. So that moved that up there. Move this down here, move this back. Alright, hope I didn't move too fast, but basically I put this in. And I didn't miss any of this stuff here. Okay, well, what about purple and orange? Purple and orange. I'll make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. right over here, purple and orange. So I'm actually surrounded by non-bandaged sides, so this should be, or bandaged sides rather, so this should be fairly easy. I can move this here. And then from here, I can rotate it down into here. And move this back. Okay, so I've got this here. Now all I've got to do is rotate it down to here. How am I going to do that? Well, any way you want. I could do it from here, right? And just rotate it down to here. And there it is. So this is in place, this is in place. Orange and yellow. Right over here. Orange and yellow. Move it here. And I guess I can just go boom, 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 boom. Orange and yellow is here. And then move it down again here. So one of the advantages of this version, which was easier than the previous ones, is I've got all these bandaged areas so close to each other, which again makes for a lot faster solving. I find the Earth cube to be very satisfyingly fast in what you can do. Green and yellow. Oh, it's right here, right under my nose. So all I have to do is move this down to here. I just have to roll it down to there. So turn, 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 turn. Easy as that. Green and yellow. Oh, okay, that was green and yellow. How about orange and yellow? Oh, that's over here. Did I bump that out? I think I bumped it out. Why don't we move that back down and put this back in here. And then move that back. Oh, and so doing, I completely messed that up. All right, let's just get this back. All right, quick as I can, we're just going to put this back in here. Okay, no harm done. All is forgiven.